that's like you say, they shouldn't be a commodity that they get brought out with fucking rainbow unity shirts and have and get put on TV for a couple weeks.
Yeah,
But I do want to
I
know
think that is cool to note. Say,
why is it a struggle to write to kind of tell those stories?
I don't know. I think that it's very. Here's we can keep it real with you. Even as a black man, completely straight, I have a hard time with the topic sometimes because you don't want to offend anybody. You don't want to. If you got to tiptoe around it, you got and so you completely ignore it. But then completely ignoring it, you don't completely understand it, and then you can't completely put this person in the best position to be a great character on TV. That's how I look at it, at least. If so it's an iffy situation, and
If
I don't think
Sunny Kiss identifies as if Sunny Kiss identifies and pronouns is her, she, as such, do you think that it's hard to put her in a match against Nyla Rose or her in a match against Red Velvet
no,
or
I think that the matching and booking can happen and no problem. They did that, when she was on. But I think as far as, saying, okay, we're now pushing you, can they push her and complete like is now is it all right, we're putting you in the women's division, is it now all right,
Sunny Kiss and Jay Cargill would fucking slap if she was a
yeah,
babyface.
yeah,
If she was presented
or
as such
or
to
she
be a
or maybe she can be presented as a character who can be in any division like that kind of that's like it hasn't been done before. That's kind of cool, like that's how I think, so when you get to a place where you're like, listen, you've been in the men's division facing, George, Kenny Omega, now you're gonna go to the women's division, face Jay Cargill, and that's gonna blow people's mind, and we're gonna put you over, and we're gonna push you. And I think that's a way you can tell LGBTQ story without saying, hey, this person's trans, like without just screaming it. You just have them switch, and then you have them, kick ass with the men and the women. And that's what you, but it takes somebody to actually take the time and
that's
do
fire.
that.
That's fire. I ain't gonna hold you. That's fire. I'm gonna clip that shit up too and send that out.
I mean, I don't know. I don't want to get any hate. I don't want to get because I'm going to be honest. It's a sensitive topic, and I don't want to offend anybody in what I say because we want to see just more representation all around. We did it for Black people when we started this podcast, and we're seeing it. Like we're seeing it
Yeah,
all over the wrestling industry.
I think that's the reason why I'm bringing it up. Like
Yeah.
noticing the power that we have within ourselves and with the not just us, like because that's narcissistic, but honestly, the collective as a group.
Mhm.
Like you say, this is year 4 of our podcast. When we started it, we did not know it was so many Black wrestling podcasts.
Yeah.
We didn't know it was so many Black wrestling fans. We thought that we were in the minority, and clearly we're still the minority. But there's a majority of us out there, and it's dope.
It's
And
a heavy dose. It's a heavy
bro,
group. Yeah.
bro, and we all wanted the same thing. We
Uh
all
huh.
screamed the same thing. All wanted the same thing. Women's wrestling, Black wrestling, representation. We wanted us championed. We wanted us as champions. We
Hmm.
wanted it, and we got it. So here we are saying, "Hey, listen, just because it's June, just because it's a month, just because it's a hashtag, listen. This should be if you're
Mind
dedicated.
you, we came up with this conversation before Pride Month even was a thing. We were talking about this last month. We just didn't debut until this month. But yeah, we wanted to talk about this.
This is our phone call we had.
Yeah,
Actually,
exactly. So we're not doing it just for the Pride Month, and it's really just to show love to everybody and have just be inclusive as possible. Because I want to keep learning too. I want to keep learning as I go along because I have a trans niece, and I want to just be able to connect in a way that she can, or he can understand and understand that I love them just as much. And understanding their journeys. And I think part of understanding their journeys is telling their stories. And we went through it as Black people. Women have gone through it. So let's give our love to the LGBT community. The world can be a better place because they're living just like us. And like
and
it's like I didn't know Sunny Kiss was trans because since he was wrestling with guys, I thought, oh, he's just an effeminate man or he's just gay. Now when you go to the place and you say, oh, it's a she, I have to now learn that, and I think that having that grace to people say, hey, listen, we have to give people also grace to learn about these people and not get super offended because people are still trying to contemplate it, and it doesn't because they don't mean to
and
be rude.
I do feel like also people will learn what they want to, right?
Yeah, true.
People people will people will seek out the information that they want to seek out in order for them to like fulfill the necessary biases that they want to have or perceptions or whatever the case may be. Not saying that we fall in that category, but there is has to be a thirst for knowledge. There has to be a yearning to be understanding. And as we're learning in this world right now, there is not any. Right? This world is not being gracious at all. Right? People are like unlearning. Right? They're trying to like de-learn, if that's a fucking
Mhm.
word right now. Like it's so imperative to like have the self want to go acquire knowledge to be a better person.
Yeah, it
So
is definitely, and not
that's
everybody's built that way. Everybody got their own lives, or and not everybody's thinking that way. But hey, we pushed the envelope. We're here to do that and just have those hard conversations. So we're booking it right now. Sunny Kiss, TNT, and TBS champion at the same time, just like
bam.
keeping holding up the. I think that that's what we do. Just double
Nah,
champion.
I think that's fire. I think that's fire, man. Is there anything else we need to cover?